When I first started riding fixed gear back in 2012, my very first dream bike was a white Leader 725 with a white deep V and a white aero spoke. And then it became a Bianchi Super Pista. And after I got over aluminum bikes, it became an NJS bike. And then I realized that NJS bikes are a bit too impractical for how often I would want to ride and for how many things I want to do on my bike. And then my dream bike became a purple Wabi Special with chrome lugs that didn't even exist back then. And while I dearly love Gary Winkle, my special edition Wabi Special that I worked with Wabi to get these made, who is also the sponsor of this video that you can check out at wabicycles.com, I always wondered in the back of my head what it would be like to ride one of those dream bikes that I had from when I first started riding fixed gear. If you just want the too long, didn't watch, it's an NJS bike. I imported this from Japan and I bought it with my own money from, not gonna name any names. The packing isn't super great. It's from the seller with the green background, if you catch my drift. So I really have no idea how it's gonna look. And if the drop bar is poking out as any indication, I am a little worried. There's no like fragile stickers or this way up or anything about this box. The courier just, it's steel, it's fine, right? They were probably doing that the whole time they were getting it here. But the mail lady just handed me the box like this, just upright, and I'm just like, this bike might have been on quite the journey from across the Pacific Ocean. I just saw the color and my heart skipped a beat. NJS Cashimax 5 Gold saddle that I got for like 30 bucks. I figured why not try it out, and everything else. The box gave a bad first impression, but it's actually packed pretty reasonably well. He even has like this to keep the track ends from getting squeezed in. Yeah, that's a thing that happened with the Netto Jaguar. Other than the residue on the bars, they seem to be in really good condition, but so far this experience is very on brand. Oh my gosh, it's even better in person. Oh, that color though. Why does it use a green background? Just take it out in the sun. Holy, this is way nicer than I was expecting. Pretty big chip, but I don't even care. Oh my gosh. Bike boner? Yes, bike boner. They did mention scrapes, which I do see, but they did not mention. And this little guy right here. Well, hi-yo. Oh my gosh. Another risk with buying these used NJS bikes, along with the condition, is that I just don't know what kind of tubing this is. There's a whole range of NJS tubings, and I even made a whole spreadsheet for it. You just don't know a lot of times, because a lot of times they don't put any sticker indicating what it is, because these are made custom for racers and they already know what the tubing is, and they don't really care about like the secondhand value of these things. I am bummed out about this little dent. Could have happened in shipping, could have happened earlier, and they just didn't list it. But, you know, I got this frame set for, I think, 500 bucks, because the green background seller was having a 20% off sale, so I pretty much got free shipping on this thing. And so total it was maybe like 600 bucks. So, you know, for a masterfully crafted, made in Japan steel frame set, I'm pretty pleased with it so far. I'm sweating. This bike is so hot, it is making me sweat. It is such a vibe. The way it just pops. Oh my gosh. Like, when I first saw this, I thought this looks just like a 90s Lamborghini Diablo. Like, it has the same vibe. I don't even care about cars. That's a cool car and this is a cool bike. Back when I first started riding, NJS bikes were a fair bit more rare, and the ones that you would find would be in a way worse condition than this. Like, this one, there's a few little minor scuffs. There's that dent. Steel is real. It's not that big of a deal. as long as they don't crash it, right? And overall, it's really clean. Like, obviously it's used, but back in the day, you'll be spending like $800 for an NJS frame with a big dent in the top tube. And I spent $600 on this, including shipping. So that is not too shabby, eh? And that's in 2025 money, not in 2012 money, okay? Like, the yen is weak. They were having a discount. There are tariffs that may or may not be happening soon. So I figured it was a perfect opportunity to finally buy one of my dream bikes. NJS though. It smells like crayons and Old Man. It's got the spider webs in it. That's how you know it's mint. We even got a spider imported from Japan.
Japanese spider.
Japanese spider. That's a hot fork. Just all the little details. Look at that. Is that a speed vane? Looking like a Slim Jim out here. Holy moly, it looks even better in the sun. Want to use my camera? Guys, I think I'm in love. After cleaning up the bars, which, to be fair, were a really good price, I realized these were very obviously crashed on. You can see right here, there's a pretty big bulge in the right side of the drop. And of course, that's something that wasn't in the listing. So, you know, when you're buying used parts like this, it is kind of like gambling on NJS Kieran races. Like, maybe you'll get a really good deal, but more likely than not, there's gonna be some quirks to the things that you buy, even if you're not expecting them. It's taken me so long to finally pull the trigger on an NJS frame set, over a decade, for a few reasons. And one of those reasons is that my Wabi Special does like 80% of the things that I wanted to do really well. And then my Wabi Thunder does like the other 15%. But there is like 5% left of riding that I wanted to do, where it's just like unapologetic fixiness. And for me, that is an NJS bike. Like, I just wanted something that was just so in your face, so loud, so flashy, and just so classic and timeless. That's where that other 5% comes from, because these two bikes, they serve their purposes extremely well. Like, the Wabi Special fits 32C tires, it can be set up aggressively or relaxed, and it rides phenomenally. And the Wabi Thunder is more like my pickup truck bike, where if I need to do something on my bike, I need to lock it up, I need to get groceries, I need to like take out the trailer or something, or if I just need to ride in the rain or do some gnarly off-road, that's what the Wabi Thunder is for. But then it's like, the Sunday driver, okay? That's what this is. Even though this is nice enough to ride like a Sunday driver, I don't know, man, it just does not have the same like history and panache and just vibe as an NJS bike. Another reason for the NJS bike is that I wanted to try out a really supple, like thin wall tubing, small diameter steel bike, because every time I ride somebody's NJS bike, there's just something about the way they flex that feels really good to me. One of the things that really affects the way a frame flexes and the ride quality and ride feel of it is how big are the tubes in diameter. One of the things that makes NJS bikes ride the way they do is that they tend to use more like classic diameter tubing, so that they flex more. So they're going to be smaller diameter than something more modern. So I just triple checked my measurements, and my intention with this bike was that the NJS bike would ride a lot more springy than the Wabi. And the diameters for the top tubes are very different. So the Wabi has a 29.0 millimeter top tube according to my measurements, you know, give or take a few tenths of a millimeter. And the NJS has a 25.6 millimeter top tube. So that will theoretically make it springier, assuming that the tubing wall thicknesses are relatively the same. Is this boring? Skip to the next section if this is boring to you, but this is like super interesting to me. So basically the Wabi Special has a much bigger diameter top tube and the down tubes are the same. So that will mean that the level NJS is a bit more springy, a bit flexier. But my goal was to buy an NJS bike that used an even smaller down tube to make it even springier. So they're probably going to ride more similarly than I was expecting, assuming that the tubing wall thicknesses are similar, which I don't know. I don't know what tubing this is. There's a whole range of NJS tubings and they all build very differently. Again, just the risk of buying things used and just not knowing where the heck this thing came from. Like, yeah, you're getting a good deal, but are you even getting what you want? And in my case, not really, but it looks sick, so I'm still happy because I know what the taper of each tube on my Wabi Special is. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share what it is, but I'll just say that I know because I have information from Wabi. With this thing, there was no way for me to know what the tubing wall thicknesses are, and that is a huge deal when it comes to the ride quality of frame set. But, you know, at the end of the day, if it rides nice, it rides nice. So I don't have all the parts yet to build up the NJS bike, but the other thing I want to check is the tire clearance, because some people say that they can get away with 28s on NJS bikes. Some people say they can get away with 32s. Cycling has changed a lot since I first wanted an NJS bike. And one of those big changes are tire clearances. 32s are now skinny to me. No way. No, it can fit 30. Oh no, it just barely rubs. 32C Gravel King Slick. Pretty maxed out. Arguably more than maxed out on the track end. And like, yeah, that's not super gonna work. Lots of room in the brake bridge, but barely any room for the chainstays. It does spin, but if it goes out of true even a little bit, or if I hit any amount of dirt, it's going to get clogged and scuff up the chainstays. 28 will definitely fit in the back. This is kind of like reverse culture shock these days, but man, that fork, that looks pretty tiny. Oh heck no, I can't. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a 25 clearance in the front. Yes, tire choice is important, but look how cool the bike is. Just for fun. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I don't have all the parts yet, but I cannot wait to build this thing up. The most annoying thing is that the seat post size is 27.0, not 27.2. You could probably jam a 27.2 in there, but you know, this frame set is so precious that I'm not gonna risk it, so I will wait. Yeah, that's looking like 27.0. That is not going unless I force it in. What a bummer. 0.2 millimeter difference. That's all it takes, and it doesn't fit.